In the studio with me is Henry. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. My name is Henry Jaiswal. I'm from the Electoral Commission. My role is the Community Engagement Coordinator for the Upper South Island with the Electoral Commission. And what we are trying to do is educate and empower people with the process of voting and how enrollment works, so they can be empowered to vote with the right information.
I am Japanese, but I have permanent residency, so I can vote, right?
Yes, as long as there's an eligibility criteria for enrollment. So enrollment, just to explain to your audience, is like when you go to a concert, you buy a ticket. So you can't go to a concert without a ticket. So same thing with voting, you need to enroll, which is your ticket, to go and vote. So getting back to your question about enrollment, yes, you can, to enroll, the criteria or the eligibility is you have to be 18 years and over. Second criteria is either you need to be a New Zealand citizen or a permanent resident. And if you're a permanent resident, then you need to have lived in New Zealand for 12 months or more at any given time in your life. So it doesn't have to be last year, at any given time in your life. And then you're eligible to enroll in New Zealand.
For example, I've been living in Japan for a year now, but in the past, I used to live in New Zealand for a couple of years. I'm allowed to vote in that case?
Correct. So as long as your permanent resident does not have an end date on it, and you've lived in New Zealand 12 months and over at any given time, yes, you're eligible to vote. And one other thing I just want to add about enrolling before we move on is enrollment in New Zealand. Most people don't know this, but enrollment in New Zealand by law is compulsory.
Is that so?
Voting is not, but enrollment is.
You have to enroll?
Correct.
Oh, how do people enroll?
So there's two ways to enroll. One is you can fill out an enrollment form, or you can enroll online, which is really easy. So to enroll online, for your audience, obviously they can't come here, but to enroll online, all you need to go is go to a website, vote.nz, so vote.nz, so it doesn't have a vote.co.nz, just .nz. And once you go on the website, you can enroll within 3 minutes. All you need is either you need a passport, either you need a driver's license, or a verified Realme ID.
All you need to do is take a picture of it and
you don't even need a picture, actually. All you need to do is your driver's license number or your passport number. Don't even need a picture.
Easy, yes.
Very easy. That's what I mean. 3 minutes, you're enrolled.
If I move to other area, should I update my details?
Correct. So to update your details, same process. So same as enrolling. And all you need to do is update your details and you're back to normal. But once you enroll, you're enrolled for life. The only thing you might have to do from time to time is if, like you said, if you move your house or residence or move from Auckland to Wellington or Christchurch, then you just need to update your details.
I enrolled long time ago, so I got a pack in July.
Orange envelope,
orange with orange man.
Correct, orange man, yeah. All the orange envelopes were sent in July from us. So if you have received an orange envelope, this means you're enrolled. So you don't need to do anything. All you need to do is, if you choose to, you can go and vote. But as far as enrollment is concerned, you don't need to do it. However, if you haven't received an envelope, the orange envelope, and you think you're enrolled, the reason you might not have got it is because either you're not enrolled or you have moved your house and your address in the last 1 year, so that's probably why.
Okay, so if I shifted, I just go online and update my details.
So all you need to do is, again, go online, vote.nz, and then you can update your details if you're already enrolled.
What if you can't go to a voting place? Say you're on holiday.
If you're on a holiday and you don't happen to be in your electorate, which is your Area 11, so it doesn't matter. You can vote anywhere in New Zealand as long as the only difference is if you're not in your area and you're voting outside the area, then you'll have to do a special vote and sign a declaration, which is not a big deal. The only difference is instead of taking 3 minutes, you might take 13 minutes.
Yeah, I do remember a couple of years ago, I was in Tekapo and, oh no, it's voting date. I just went to local primary school and I could vote just like that.
Correct, you can. So anybody can do that, you're right, 100%. Anybody can do that, so you don't have to be in your area on the day of voting. But like I said earlier, you don't have to vote on the voting day. You can actually vote almost 2 weeks prior, which is starting from the 5th of September. So any time between 5th of September and 19th of September, there's voting place all around it.
Well, COVID-19 makes a difference to the way the election is run?
In fact, this year, because of COVID, we've got more voting places this year than normal. so that there's not enough congestion in the voting place. So
more
people can feel
social
safe.
distancing.
Yeah, all that. You're right. The physical distancing and all that, and we're also giving out pens. So if you forget to bring a pen, we'll give you a pen and you can take it home.
Oh, nice.
Or bring your own pen if you wish to. If you're concerned for your safety and things like that, you're also making sure there's 1 meter distancing. So the way the voting places are operating this year is we are even if you're on level 2 or level 1, we will still operate as a level 2 on a voting day. Obviously it's not enforced because we might be in level 2, we might be in level 1 now. The voting places will still act as if we're in level 2. So it won't be enforced, but we'll try to make it as if it's level 2 and give hand sanitizers and things like that.
I feel way safer that way.
Yeah, just to make people feel safe.
How can I find where is the closest voting place?
So again, either you should have had that information in your orange pack, and if it's not there, then just go on vote.nz and find out the voting places in your electorate. That details have been released on the 5th of August. So you should find out very easily where all the voting places in here. Usually they are in libraries, churches, community centers, across any area. So that's the usual places. We have got, as I said, we've got way more voting places this year.
That is actually convenient for us. Is there anything I should bring to the voting place?
The only thing, if you've got the orange letter, then you should have an easy vote card in your envelope. So make sure you bring that, because that makes it faster for you as a voter so when the voting assistant or the officer they take their information, it's very easy to find you on the electoral roll if you've got the easy vote card, and you can just look at the card, yes, cross you off, give you ballot paper, and you're done. 2-3 minutes, you're out.
Oh, okay, so pretty easy.
Yeah, that's why easy vote card is important, and that's why it's important to enroll so that you get that easy vote card, and on the day it's much easier and faster for you.
I get to vote for referendum as well?
Yes, definitely. So as you mentioned, there's 2 referendums this year. So this is the first time in New Zealand history that in a general election we're having 2 referendums attached to it.
2 of them? Which
is quite exciting, obviously. And I highly encourage people to read about the referendums, because they are quite emotive referendums for a lot of people. As you know, one is the end of life referendum and one is the recreational use of cannabis referendum. So those are 2 important issues for society, obviously. So you will get 3 papers this time. One is the usual voting paper for your candidate and electorate, and then the other one is for the other 2, one's for end of life and one is for cannabis, and all you need to do is yes and no. So there is no choices or anything like that.
So I need to think about it before I'm going to voting place.
Definitely. So highly encourage people to go on referendums.govt.nz, that website, and just read about it, because it's not as I think that's what's going to happen. You really need to understand, because a lot of times I've been talking to people, and especially about the cannabis, a lot of people are interested in that, and a lot of people think, there'll be a lot of people smoking cannabis all around my house. It's not that. The referendum is not about that. It's about the controlled use of cannabis and a lot of other things. I personally can't say too much about it, because it's not the Electoral Commission doing it, it's actually the Ministry of Justice. So that's why our job is just to let people know these are the referendums. If you want to know more about it, I highly encourage people to go on referendums.govt.nz and read about both the referendums.
It's okay to take kids to the voting place?
For sure, yeah. It's user-friendly, not user-friendly, child-friendly voting places are always there. So some of the voting places even have creches, believe it or not. So you can take your kids, and like I said, it shouldn't take you too long, few minutes, and you should be out, especially if you're using the advanced voting, because then you can go during school hours if you're a mother or things like that with a child, or a stay-home dad. You can just go during school hours, so you don't have to wait till the evening, or certainly don't wait till the last day, otherwise there'll be a queue you have to wait in.
I don't want to wait in the queue for a long time.
That's why we have got the advanced voting.
Are there still jobs available at the election?
Yes, there are. However, tomorrow midday is when they shut. So if anybody is listening, tomorrow is the last day. So tomorrow is the 14th of August. So make sure if you are applying for roles.
The thing is, we broadcast this in September, so they will miss out. But this is interesting that there's an opportunity to work in this sector. I feel this kind of job is interesting for Japanese people as well.
I mean, we are highly encouraging people to apply because we need diversity at the voting places to represent the community, of course. So we don't want a voting place to look only one ethnicity working there. We are not representing the community that way. So we want to have the voting place similar to a community.
What sort of positions are available?
All sorts of jobs. There's jobs from advanced voting place assistants, the officers who do all your work, signing officers. There's advanced voting. There's voting day place managers, voting day place. A lot of different jobs, but it's all on the website. So vote.nz, and if you put application, it's really simple. And the best part is that it's actually a living wage, not a minimum wage.
Oh, that's great.
So the living wage is more like $23.54. So it's not a minimum wage. So it's well paid, and you also get paid for training. So you're not only getting paid on the day for doing the role, but we also provide training for every single role a week prior, and so you get paid for that time during training as well.
Also, it will be $22 or something.
Yes, yeah, $23.54. So that's a living wage, like I said. So it's really a good wage for
Good. So if someone looking for casual job that supports community,
for sure, definitely. And one other thing I want to add is, for voting you have to be 18 and over, but for working for the Electoral Commission you can start from 16 years on. So even if you're 16, you can apply for those roles.
Oh, it will be a good experience.
Yes, very good experience. Just one other thing I wanted to inform your viewers so they can so they can make an informed decision on the day. The referendums, one of them is a binding referendum and the other one is a non-binding referendum. And by that what I mean is the binding referendum, which is the end of life referendum. What that means is if the outcome of the end of life referendum is yes, for example, then it will become law within 1 year from now. So because the act is already passed. So that's why it's a binding referendum. However, the legalizing recreational use of cannabis is a non-binding referendum. So what that means, it's like the flag one, where you can say yes or no, but it is to just get a gauge of what this community wants, but it'll still go through the whole process of parliament and act.
Flag didn't happen anyway, so that's the same.
Because it was a non-binding referendum. So the cannabis one is a non-binding referendum. The end of life is definitely a binding referendum.
It will happen
regardless of what the outcome is. Like if it's a no, then of course it won't happen. If it's a yes, it will happen.
I didn't know that. I really need to research more about that. Do you have all this information in different languages?
Yes, that's a good question. And if you go on vote.nz under languages, we have translated this kind of information in 28 different languages. I know Japanese is one of them.
28 languages?
Yes,
that's very good.
Yes, we have translated them. Even Somali, for example, and Farsi and Arabic. So there's a lot of different languages. The Hindi and the Tagalog, which is the Philippines. So there's a lot of different languages.
Oh, because we have so many residents from different countries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we've tried our best, but we can't get every single language.
That is so helpful for the different communities. Thank you so much for coming today.
No worries. You're welcome. Thank you for having me.